Right? Take it in, take it in. You're very welcome. I'm Danielle Young. I'm your moderator for this conversation. And this is a conversation on claiming space in TV, because we need to. And it's a film sponsor, TV and film, and it's sponsored by Prime Video and Amazon Freevee. Again, I'm Danielle Young, and I have with me, y'all ain't even ready, for Meagan Good, actress, producer, general gorgeous person, Kendrick Sampson, again, gorgeous, amazing actor, and also Jamal Henderson, executive producer of UNINTERRUPTED's Top Class. Come on out here. I'm gonna stand back so you can see him. Look at this. Look at it. Take it in. Take it in. Get on out here, Kendrick. Yes. And Jamal, get on out here. You ain't giving the Meagan Good, but that's all right. That is all right. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
I'm so excited to be here with y'all at CultureCon. Are y'all excited to see them? Look at how they look. Well, as you know, this conversation is all about claiming space in television and film. And we're gonna be talking about Black stories, because all of y'all do that, right? We're all Black storytellers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so on this level that y'all are on, what is the most important nuance to include when you're creating projects?
Authenticity. I think at the end of the day, like whatever the character is, whether they're created and they're on the page, whether you're creating them, whether you're finding them, discovering them, I think just having a sense of authenticity and honesty will always, people are gonna identify what they identify with, but if you're authentic, people will always identify with that to some degree.
I love that. Authenticity is so real. Have y'all been watching Meagan on Harlem? Yes. Is it giving authenticity? We be going through a lot of that stuff that Meagan's character goes through. And Kendrick, you have a whole new project coming out. Talk about your nuances of Blackness that you bring to the table when you show up.
Yeah, you know, shameless plug. We just launched our production company, Build Power Productions, and yeah. And a key tenet to what we do is creating those spaces where people can be safe, that us as creatives can be safe and vulnerable and produce that authentic work, you know? And so it's more about anything, even when I'm not, you know, producing something, I'm just coming into the project like something from Tiffany's. I'm always looking, I saw that I had a daughter, right? My daughter's Black, and I'm a single dad, right? So we have some authenticity that we have to consider, right? Hair,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? All types of, you know, just what does that relationship look like? We know a lot of people with single dads, you know, and kids, and single moms and kids. So just what does that look like for Black folks? And making sure that we have some time to sort that out in a space where we can feel comfortable, clean, cozy. Shout out to Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? You know, and feel good and authentic. Yeah.
I love that. Now, while Kendrick looks very cute in this outfit, we love you for your eyeballs, Kendrick. Why can't we see your eyeballs? Show us your eyeballs.
Because I was out all night and might be a little high still. But they here, you know, they here.
There they go. Everybody zoom in. Zoom in on the eyeballs
They
real
might
quick.
go back up in a second though, because, you know.
It's a celebration.
Yeah, who knows? I might have an eye booger or something, you know.
You know, you look good from here, friend. And Jamal, the big dog over at the UNINTERRUPTED
You got me
over
following
there.
all these pretty people, you know. I think honestly, as a producer and at Spring Hill, we tell stories and we're very intentional about the people we put in front and behind the camera, to the point, just to build on what Meagan said, which I think is right, is being authentic. And so you just have to be intentional about all those things. And really, below the line is more important, and it's harder to do. And with Top Class, our show that we have on Amazon, documentary and unscripted is very hard. we're not really there yet, but there's a lot of opportunities, and I know I've met a lot of people here today that want to get into this business, and don't sleep on docuseries, documentary film. It's a path. It's actually a very profitable path right now. Some of the biggest things, we just launched a project called Redeem Team last night on Netflix that's doing really well as well. So that is a storytelling medium as you build up. So I just want to build on what Meagan said, which I think is right. It's authentic, be intentional, up front of and below the line, because a lot of things, you know, we see everybody in front of the camera, but also behind the camera is really what my job is to build teams and get folks like these folks on the stage to do something for us one day. You know, we trying.
Come on, Jamal, just let me know whenever you need me. You don't need these beautiful people.
Look, we ain't ready to make noise yet, but you know what we got.
Jamal out here
yes.
giving jobs.
There is a project coming with Jamal. I can't say nothing about it, but he's right. He talks the talk.
Actually, can I piggyback on what you said, though?
Of course.
Like, we need more black documentarians. We need to make sure that we document our shit so that people know the blueprint for later, you know, what we've gone through, so they don't have to repeat the same mistakes. So we need a lot more black documentarians. Absolutely.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, y'all. I want to dig into something you said, because you mentioned a project that's coming, Kendrick. So what can you tell us about Something from Tiffany's?
It is a rom-com. It's a Christmas rom-com in New York. We shot in Bryant Park and Central Park and all these other places. And I got to, you know, Leah Jeffries plays my daughter. Before that, she played Idris Elba's daughter, so I was a little confused as how we was going to work this out. But she was
You
in
needed a light-skinned daughter, is that what you're trying to say?
I was like, damn, can we have the same daughter? But as soon as I met her, we clicked, and she was like super special. She's amazing, and she loves her hair. So there was like one of the things that we added in, I was like, I have to have a moment. All these black people gonna be watching, like, who do her hair? If she just pop up with just nice puffs and shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, we gotta have a moment where I'm slicking back the baby hairs or something. You know, so there's a few moments in there that we created that genuine connection and that moment of vulnerability between daughter and son. That's what I'm most excited about. And of course, you know, there's love and romance, and you get to see presents and shit. But yeah, Something from Tiffany's.
Listen,
it's
we
a
love a good
rom-com.
Christmas movie.
In December, it's a
gives
Christmas
us
movie.
black romance.
It is a very feel-good movie. It's a very feel-good movie. So December 9th, I think, is the date.
We will be on the lookout. That's called Something from Tiffany. So y'all be on the lookout for Kendrick's Christmassy, rom-com-y, I'm a daddy that knows how to lay baby hairs movie. Raise your hand if you want Kendrick to lay your baby hairs down. Lay them down. That's Jerry over there, y'all, from Harlem. Say hey, everybody.
Jerry Johnson, everybody.
Jerry Johnson.
Jerry Johnson, everybody.
She's so crazy. So we're here at Culture Con, and we are obviously on a panel of esteemed black working people. So I like to use interview time to gather information for people out here who could use that in their own lives. So I would love to hear from each of you. What gets you up in the morning, and what pushes you through your day, especially when it gets tough?
Well, God gets me up in the morning.
Amen.
And I think the fact that I get to do something that I love to do, there's a million talented, beautiful, amazing, incredible people, but I get to do this. So that gets me up, gratitude. And then throughout the day, when I have those days that are really tough, it really is about perspective. You know, at the end of the day, this is a day in my life that I will never get back. So I have to choose. I have to be intentional about this being the best day that it can be, about me enjoying the people who are around me, even if there's some of them that get on my nerves. I have to choose how I want to digest this day and how I can make it the best day that it can possibly be. And not just for myself, but for the people around me, for my cast, for my crew, for everybody that I work with. And so that's what keeps me going, is the motivation to say, it's so easy to get in an attitude. It's so easy not to be humble. It's so easy to believe my own hype and have a certain type of attitude. And it takes more effort and intention and perspective to say, I choose to be in gratitude and thankful that I get to be here, and how can I make this wonderful for everybody else?
I love that. Yes, Megan's doing Meagan Good. We love to hear it. No, that's because it does show up. We see that and we feel that from you. What about you, Kendrick? What keeps you pushing through your day? What helps you wake up and attack what you've got going on?
If anybody knows Adrienne Marie Brown, you know, I be looking for my pleasure. You know, pleasure activism is a real thing. It's like seeking out the things that we've been told that we should feel guilty about, right? To please ourselves, to make sure that we have peace, that we are soothed, that we're comforted, whatever it is. And so I try to identify those things. People think I'm playing when I'm like, watermelon will change my day. A good piece of watermelon will change my damn day. You know, a nice shower. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really good for getting in the shower.
It could be 5 minutes, but I'm a Pisces. I'm good. Give me some water, you know?
Yes.
There's certain things that are like touch points that ground me throughout the day. And in the beginning of the day, I do my best to start with meditation. And I make sure that I ground myself in that. And I end my meditation in a visualization exercise. It only takes a couple minutes, but it's imagining the people. I have 22, 23, 24 nephews and nieces, and a godson, and I'm always imagining a better world for them. So I take those last few minutes, those last couple minutes in my meditation to visualize a better world, a more liberated world for them. And every day, I have to come back, you know, I know this is about, you know, the culture and, you
claiming
know,
space.
Something from Tiffany's and everything. But, you know, speaking of claiming space, you know, I know that my imagination, I have to acknowledge that my imagination is still hindered by colonization, right? Still hindered by anti-blackness and a lot of the things that we've been taught in our society. So every day, I break that thing down a little bit more and imagine my people even more free. And I have to imagine those specific faces of my nephews and nieces and those children that I care most about, because that drives me forward throughout the day. When I'm like, you pissing me off, I'm like, shit, gotta fight for my godson. Let me do this strategic. I can't just punch everybody. So it's a thing that grounds me, calms me, and centers me throughout the day.
I love that, right? Yes, give him some. And don't the point hit home when his eyeballs are showing? Don't it feel like you get it more?
and I'll say that, and a coach told me that one breath throughout the day, say you take a 20-minute, 40-minute meditation, throughout the day, you build that up like an immune system. So every time you take a deep breath, it's the equivalent to that 40-minute, 20-minute meditation you did in the morning. So you at the end of your day and you about to lose it, you can and come right back down and be like, all right, I got 20 more minutes left in this fucking office. All right, bless you, we about to go. Peace out.
I love that. Thank you for sharing those really good tips. Now, Jamal, I would love to talk to you about this whole idea of claiming space in TV and film. As this big-time producer, you also, as a black man, bring, look, big time, huge. Okay, decisions be made over there. But you're a black man. So you bring that with you in the spaces that you take up in these corporate spaces, in these executive tables. What does that look like for you to make sure that you are taking responsibility of bringing the culture with you?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, we try to just be unapologetic. You know, we came into the business as non-traditional folks. So we were never in Hollywood. LeBron wasn't in Hollywood. Matt wasn't in Hollywood. So we kind of don't know what we're not supposed to be doing. We just do it. And so we try to bring our full selves to everything we do and to the projects we do. We try to make sure we pour the authenticity in them. But we also try to make them commercially viable. You know what I mean? We're trying to make stuff that people want to see, everybody here might want to see. So that's how I just bring myself unapologetically myself to everything, whether it be in the room while we pitching, on set, in the writer's room, however I can be additive. And really it's about building great teams. As y'all know, the worst thing I could do is get in the way sometimes, you know? And so you got to know every team is different, you know. Okay, I need to be involved in this team. I just need to hide the network from this team so they can do what they do, you know what I mean? So we've been lucky enough to do that, whether it be film or, you know, we got a couple projects coming up I might want to talk about, you know, fantasy football on Paramount Plus, Thanksgiving Day, Marseille Martin, Omari Hardwick, beautiful family film, black family film. And then we have House Party, which is coming out on December 9th on worldwide. We escaped the HBO Max. It's in theaters, y'all. I need y'all to go see that movie. Jacob Lattimore, Tosin Cole, bringing back a black classic and reimagine it. And so that's really what we're trying to do at Spring Hill. So, you know, we understand kind of the shoulders we stand on. There's so many amazing folks that came to the Hollywood and did their thing, and we understand that. We just try to be a part of that legacy. But we want to throw our weight around too, because as you said, I'm a black man, so I got to be present and got to show up.
I love that. Yeah, I'm latching on to we got to throw our weight around. And I'm looking at you, Meagan and Kendrick, because what does that look like for y'all to enter spaces and throw your weight around?
Well, I'm just learning to do that, you know. I was a child actor, so, you know, growing up like in the 90s, you were told the exact opposite. Don't throw your weight around, don't make yourself too big, don't ruffle feathers, be easy to work with, be kind, be this, be that. And, you know, in my 20s, when I started exploring what that meant for me, and then by the time I got to my 30s, and now I'm 41, it was,
I mean, yes,
thank y'all.
41.
I like it. It's been fun. But as I got there, you know, exploring the fact that I've been here long enough that I'm allowed to do that, and I can still do that in a humble and kind and respectful and assertive, clear way. And so now, you know, creating vehicles for other people that I love, producing, directing has been like, oh my God, I love directing so much.
Meagan Good directing.
I love it so much. It's crazy. I just directed the second episode of Harlem. And I just love it so much. But anyways, for me, it doesn't need to be about me. I don't need the camera or lights on me. To me, throwing my weight around is creating opportunities for Jerry, creating opportunities for Ryan Destiny, creating opportunities for Paige Hurd, seeing them shine, seeing them win, seeing them do things that people assume that they can't do. For me, that's my joy. So
I love that. Yes, thank you. And I hear you, Jerry. She's an icon. Yes, you are, Meagan Good. Yes. Kendrick, what does it look like for you to throw your weight around?
Well, you know what? I'm going to piggyback on some that Meagan said, because, you know, I started early. I wasn't on, you know, Cousin Skeeter or nothing, but...
Shout out to Cousin Skeeter.
But I started early in Texas, 1999. I was a child, but what I didn't realize, I'm like, it's 2022. I've been in this for decades. And sometimes we don't realize the experience that we have, or especially because we started when we were younger, we're told, you know, go here, go there, like we don't have any sort of input, and not realizing we're learning the whole time. So by the time, maybe you know, especially when I got on like Vampire Diaries, How to Get Away, now it's, you know, you know, those are much longer than I want to say that we did it a long ago now, but you know, people would treat you, especially if you look younger, right, like a child. And I had to remind people several times, I've done this for a long time. I know what the hell I'm doing. This is a choice, not a mistake. I made a choice, and I'm sticking with it, right? I've done my script analysis as long as I've done my work. And also, piggybacking, Meagan throws her weight around in other ways, too. She supports folks. She gives people jobs. Not that
was
type
like,
of
wait a
weight.
minute.
Not that type of weight. No, I'm saying she gives people jobs. She advocates for people, even when a lot of, and you know, I'm not going. Don't get too nervous. But even when nobody, like 2015, when we were trying to organize Hollywood folks around police brutality, a lot of people would not put their name or their face or even their presence in spaces where it was controversial because they thought it would affect their career. And when I tell you, I've been in it when nobody else was in it. Meagan was trying to form organizations with me to organize Hollywood. So I'm saying she throws her weight around in a lot of ways, not just in Hollywood, but for our people. And she'll come out to protest, she'll come and talk on stage, and she talks that shit, right? And that's what we gotta do in terms of taking up space, is remember that our purpose, it ain't capitalism, it ain't no career, it ain't no acting, it ain't none of that. Our purpose is to liberate folks in this world and leave it better than we found it. So if you didn't know your purpose for it before today and you like, man, I'm trying to find my purpose, I just told you. It's to liberate folks. So when we go into them rooms, we have to bring our ancestors, our nephews and nieces, our kids, the next generation, our present selves and each other in them rooms with us to let us know that that's our purpose, and we are not just here for ourselves. It ain't about no profit. We gonna throw our weight around because I always say I ain't worried about making no corporation mad, because ain't no corporation worried about making me mad. So I'm here for the liberation of my people. If I say something, I've said it. I made a choice to say it. I've done my research, and I got a community behind me that's gonna back it up if you don't do what we saying. Because this is for the liberation of our people.
Kendrick Sampson, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, like that was leading into my final question as we step off stage, was about your purpose and how you got there. So thank you for sharing that. And before we go, Jamal and Meagan, if you could share where you feel like, are you in your purpose? And if not, how could you get there to help our CultureCon audience?
I am a big believer, as Kendrick said, this is not about me. I get to be here. As I said before, there's a million beautiful, talented people, but I get to be here. And so I know that the platform that God has given me is not about me. I know that I get to do something creative that I love to do for a living, but ultimately to me it's about building the platform to use it however I feel led that God wants me to use it. Part of that is activism. Part of that is loving on people. Part of that is encouraging the rebels to be rebels. Part of that is letting the underdogs and the misfits know that they're perfectly imperfect. Part of that is helping young girls, helping young men, helping them win, helping them reach their full potential and feel loved in the process. And so for me, there's a few different things that it's tied into and wrapped up into, but to me, purpose ultimately, and I feel the one purpose that we all have as human beings, outside of whatever that outgrowth is to help each other and to love each other. That's the first thing that God asked us to do. We get so caught up in all these other things that He didn't ask us to do. And frankly, He ain't worried about that way. He just asked us to love each other unconditionally, as much as we love ourselves and as much as we can, close to how He loves us. So that's what I try to do. I just try to love people, and I just try to make them see that they are so worthy and they're so valuable and they're so perfect even on their craziest day, and they have so much that they are supposed to do that nobody else in the world can do. So yeah, that's purpose for me.
Thank you, Meagan. Thank you. Yeah, give her some. Unfortunately, that's our time, CultureCon. I know we could chat forever, but I think they done cut his mic off, child. So we got to run. But thank you so much for sharing. Meagan Good, Kendrick Sampson, Jamal Henderson. I'm dear girl Danielle. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you, y'all.